Hello, I'm John Fox on Channel West. I'm having a Danganronpa V3 trigger. Happy Goodbye Despair. Killing Harmony Adventure. I got there eventually. And Shuichi Saihara has a good idea of who the culprit is. Which is strange because I have no idea who the culprit is. I have no idea, and I feel like the game hasn't presented me with an idea. What?
Come on, man, there's no need for that. Like I said, you're my sidekick. I take responsibility for any mistakes my sidekick makes. So use those skills of yours I believe in to shove the truth down their throats.
You believe in my detective skills?
That's right. I'm gonna leave it all to you, Shuichi.
Yes, I need to believe in my detective work. This whole setup would have been prepared in the gym well beforehand. Knowing that narrows the list of suspects. Okay, what? I don't know. I didn't think it made... Angie? No, that's wrong. Remember everyone's alibis? Do you really think the person really made the mechanism in the gym?
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh. Nope. I don't know who did it. I have no idea right now.
Oh no!
Oh, what a terrible way to start an episode. Yeah, I made too many mistakes. Do they think I did it? Voting time.
Is this really?
We try.
We can't let it end here!
Clearly I was wrong, though.
It's the inner tube! The rubber inner tube we found floating in the pool!
Okay, we'll go over this again. This was supposed to be the clincher, apparently.
Remember the inner tube we found in the pool with a rope on one side? Maybe the rope was originally tied on both sides. The culprit made a ropeway by hanging the tube from the rope connecting the windows. And because the third floor window is higher up, gravity would have pushed the inner tube along. The inner tube is made of sturdy rubber as well. It could have supported two people. The culprit used the ropes and the inner tube to construct a rudimentary ropeway.
I have to just say inner tube.
And used it to move themselves and Ryoma's body from the lab
I know what
to
we're
the
repeating
gym.
ourselves, but like, this is apparently supposed to be the clincher, and I didn't realize it was a clincher.
Once through the gym window, the culprit stood on the inner tube to move the body.
I love the way he says inner tube. Tubular, man.
Either that, or the culprit. That way, finally, they removed the rope from the window from...
Well, when you put it like that, it certainly sounds possible. But wow, a ropeway!
You say the culprit placed their foot...
Hang on.
Would count?
Last time we got...
Eh?
It is quite possible that the culprit...
Okay, I'm gonna need to skip a lot of this then. I didn't think it put me this far back.
Man, but I guess now we know Shuichi's logic is right on the money.
So culprit really used ropeway to move body? Yeah, they used the ropeway to move with the body from window to window.
Ropeway murder! But if the mechanism was that complicated, wouldn't it be hard?
Not necessarily.
Right, so we're gonna skip through this as well.
Then tossing the rope into the gym from the pool window would be the...
I see! The rope was thrown from the window! That's...
With that method, the culprit must have made numerous trips.
Which is why the crime was committed during nighttime, while we all slumbered.
But if the culprit was so careful to recover the rope they used to commit the crime, why did they leave the inner tube?
I believe.
And
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Then why did the culprit leave it in the pool?
It was night time.
That's it.
Okay, fine. Why did it put me this far
Even if
back?
I see. But couldn't...
Not even the steep, even
Sounds like a lot of work. Yeah, it would take too long. Ha! What kind of clumsy dipshit drop? Let me tell you, this culprit's a real
No, actually. Save for that one mistake, this was the perfect crime.
If Maki had never met up with Ryoma at nighttime, it might have been the end for us. Well, I still don't know if...
shut up. Personally, I find this culprit frighteningly thorough. Such a bold, beautiful plan. I never even imagined there was a ropeway. Ah, respect be...
What are you, stupid?
Expecting intelligence is crucial.
Now,
But of course, it would...
So, who is it?
Looks like it's time for me to start the main event. But my sidekick here is...
No, mate, you go ahead.
You're just pushing everything onto Shuichi.
Well, Shui,
He has a good idea of who the culprit is. I have no idea. I've never been at this point in the case. I
Hey,
just had
Shuichi,
no idea.
are you hesitating
No, I just
again?
don't know, mate. What?
Come on, man, there's no need for that. I take responsibility for any mistakes my sidekick makes. So use those skills of yours I believe in to shove the truth down their throats.
You believe it?
That's right.
Well, I'm going to blame him. Hang on. The whole setup would have been prepared in the gym well beforehand. Okay, so it had to be somebody who works in the gym. We'll try him. Wasn't Kaito, but I remember somebody mentioning they went to the gym. What's the matter? Just show them the logic you believe in. Who went to the gym with him?
It has to be you! There's one more thing I still have to confirm. But Kirumi is the prime suspect.
Me?
What? Kirumi?
Bullseye?
Oh, so Kirumi is the culprit.
That is not yet a certainty. Let us hear her testimony first.
Is this true, Kirumi?
I cannot believe you would suspect me. If that is the case, then I will have to deny it. I will not let you make the wrong choice.
The wrong choice?
If you do believe it is me, are you prepared to stand by that decision? I will refute your accusations with all my might, for
I had a
everyone's
set
sake.
to survive. Maybe I was blinded. Maybe I'm an idiot.
I, of course, am not the culprit.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
Oh, there's an alibi.
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not have one.
I have evidence that proves you're the culprit.
Do you think we would fall for such nonsense?
The trick relied on complex mechanisms to work. But someone like you could be skilled enough to pull it off.
Preposterous. That could have been done by anyone.
Kirumi is thin and has a nice body. She and Ryoma could have totally shared an
inner tube! We all could have, except perhaps Gonta.
For balls Kurumi to implicate herself, my logic has to be airtight. There's a hole in a story somewhere. I have to stay calm and find it. Like I said, it's definitely her. I had no idea. No idea at all.
I, of course, am not
Witnessing
the culprit.
Ryoma.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not have one.
I have evidence that proves we're the culprit.
Do you think we would fall for such nonsense?
The trick relied on complex mechanisms to work. But someone like you could be skilled enough to pull it off.
Preposterous. That could have been done by anyone.
Kirumi is thin and has a nice body. She and Ryoma could have totally shared an inner tube.
We all could have, except perhaps Gonta. I, of course, am not the culprit.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most
You have no alibi for nighttime, but the others do not have alibis either. It's too shallow.
Damn it!
Now, what am I missing?
I, of course, am not the
Witnessing
culprit.
Ryoma.
The crime was committed at nighttime.
Witnessing Ryoma.
And you have no alibi.
She stayed in the room and
Do you?
An alibi for nighttime?
look in the file too.
I believe most of us do not have.
I have evidence that proves you're the culprit.
Do you think we would fall for such nonsense?
The trick relied on complex mechanisms to work. But someone like you could be skilled enough to pull it off.
Preposterous. That could have been done.
Kirumi is thin and has a nice
I don't
body.
know. I have no idea.
She and Ryoma could have totally shared an inner tube.
We all could have, except perhaps Gonta. I, of course, am not the culprit.
Insect flea and plead.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not have one.
I have evidence that proves you're the culprit.
Do you think we would fall for such nonsense?
The trick relied on complex mechanisms to work. But someone like you could be skilled enough to pull it off.
Preposterous. That could have been done by anyone.
Kirumi is thin and has a nice body. She and Ryoma could have totally shared an inner tube.
We all could have, except perhaps Gonta.
Okay, let's skip this again.
Is this... We can't let it
Please
in.
start at the right point, game.
I, of course, am not the culprit.
The crime was committed at nighttime. And you have no alibi, do you?
An alibi for nighttime? I believe most of us do not have one.
Okay?
I'll reveal the truth.
Gonna commit more than perjury.
Maybe we can't prove everyone's alibi, but we can still pinpoint the culprit.
How so?
Last night, Kaito and I heard Maki speaking with Ryoma. But I haven't mentioned what happened after. Kirumi, Any thoughts?
Did you return to your respective dorm rooms?
Yes, we did. But I couldn't fall asleep, so I was awake until morning, which allowed me to hear a certain sound in the night.
A certain sound?
Last night, I heard the sound of someone leaving their room and exiting the dorm. And after some time, I heard the sound of them returning.
Could it have been the culprit? But all you heard was a sound? That doesn't mean you know who made it.
Indeed, it doesn't. But I didn't hear the sound of someone going down the stairs. Which must mean that whoever left has a room on the first floor. No one on the second floor left the dorm that night.
So everyone on the second floor has an alibi? You cannot determine the culprit with just that.
On the contrary, once we rule out the second floor, we know who the culprit is. Because preparing the ropeway required time to be spent in the gym. It's extremely likely that the culprit helped set up the magic show. In short, Himiko, Angie, Kaito, or Kirumi.
I see. So among the four, the only one with a room on the first floor of the dorms is...
Yes, only Kirumi.
It wasn't very elegant, but my lie was certainly plausible. Will they buy it?
You heard a sound, huh? Well, I hear a load of BS. But unfortunately for you, Kirumi, your time's up. We already know you're the only one capable of setting all this up. Right, Shuichi?
Well, that was an unexpected assist.
Right. The only person who could have prepared this murder is Kirumi.
Yeah, so the clincher was supposed to be that it had to be one of the people who helped out and knew about the tricks. But I don't get why it had to be Kirumi and none of the others. None of the others had any alibis at night. How did he know only Kirumi could have done it?
Well, the preparations in the gym in any case.
And why do you believe that?
Before the culprit could put the body into the tank, several steps needed to be taken.
Like tying the rope to the gym window and putting a partition in the piranha tank.
That's right. Ryoma's body entered the gym from the window, but that required preparation. That could only have been done when Kirumi was by herself in the gym before nighttime.
But Kirumi was alone in the gym for only like 5 minutes.
Not enough time for the whole murder, but enough time to set it up. Enough time to tie the rope on the window frame and put the pain in the piranha tank.
You know what's annoying? I distinctly remember going, oh no, there's a lot of focus on that maid during this storyline. Oh, whatever. Like, she even gets her own lab and it wasn't involved in the murder.
This is my selfless devotion.
It was the only lab not involved.
While I do understand where you are coming from, I assure you this is just a part of your petty imagination. An empty theory created from nihilism. If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time. I accept that. However, the crux of your argument is not but a guess. You continue to force the facts to conform to your misguided narrative. When you consider that the crux of your argument is faulty, your entire case falls apart.
Very compelling, Kirumi. I expected nothing less. I won't back down.
If it were solely the rope and partition, I suppose 5 minutes might be enough time. I accept that. However, the crux of your argument is not but a guess. You continue to force the facts to conform to your misguided narrative. When you consider that the crux of your argument is faulty, your entire case falls apart.
What do you mean by crux of the argument? How is it just a guess?
I am referring to the rope. Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this had happened. In other words, it is just a guess. And then you add assumptions and hearsay to that guess. It is nothing more than deception.
Okay.
I am referring to the rope.
Black piece of fabric.
Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this had happened.
Oops.
Damn it!
I am referring to the rope. Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this. In other words, it is just a guess. And then you add assumptions and hearsay to that guess. It is nothing more than deception.
Okay, not black piece of fabric.
I am referring to the rope. Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this had happened.
Oh, you know what?
I was wrong!
I am referring to
I
the
think
rope.
it is the black piece of fabric.
Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor, but there is no evidence to indicate this had happened.
Okay, no.
Damn it!
I am referring to the rope. Now, with that rope, it is possible to reach the gym window from the third floor window. But there is no evidence to indicate this had happened.
I'll
Oh,
cut
come through your words.
I have evidence. The abrasions left on the window frames at the gym and the lab.
Were those scratches from when the rope was tied to the window frame?
Just tying the rope to the frame wouldn't cause so much damage. The rope that was tied to the frames must have been weighed down significantly. The frames didn't break, but they were left with distinct marks.
Those scratches are proof that you used a rope to carry the body to the windowsill.
Oh? What's wrong, Kirumi?
What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? Hey, 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 hey!
What's wrong?
Is Kirumi quiet cause that's what happened?
Please answer us, Kirumi. Shuichi is doing this for your sake.
If it is for my sake, then it would be much easier to forfeit. But I cannot allow that, because I must do this for everyone!
For everyone.
I have a duty and a responsibility. I must serve everyone and protect them. So I refuse to surrender. They won't forgive me if I do.
What? Where is this coming from? Her response seems genuine. What did she mean by everyone? He's doing this for all our sakes? Am I wrong? Is Kirumi innocent? No, I'm wrong again.
Hey, Kirumi, who exactly is this everyone you're talking about?
Kaito.
I've just got a weird feeling about this. When you said everyone, it felt like you weren't talking about us. It felt like you were talking about someone who isn't here.
Someone who isn't here?
Someone outside of the academy?
Hey, do you think Kirumi saw her own motive video?
Huh? The motive video?
You saw your important someone in danger, so you committed murder, right?
Is that true?
so sorry for making such a mess. Because of that, I made all of you assume something unnecessary.
Unnecessary?
You saying I'm wrong? This everyone you're talking about.
It is all of you, of course.
Really? Do you swear to a tour?
Yes, really. So please believe me, I am not the culprit.
I didn't get to finish with the maid. Damn it! I just got up. I just realized. Look! I was one away. Damn it! That's so annoying. Ah, I wasted all this time. I'm so.
I do not care what becomes of me, but I will not allow any of you to die. Because I made a promise to Kaede. She wished for all of us to escape together. I want to fulfill my duties as the ultimate maid. I wish to serve everyone. So please believe me. You have to!
Kirumi!
Are we totally sure Kirumi's the culprit? Maybe it's someone else. Are we sure Kokichi isn't the culprit?
How rude.
Gonta just can't believe Kirumi would kill Ryoma.
Kirumi's breakfasts were the best. She always treated us so well. She really is like a mom.
Perhaps it was after she gained our trust that she saw her chance to strike.
You really are screwed up.
Screwed up from head to toe. Even through your clothes, I can tell.
Shuichi, please reconsider suspecting me as the culprit. You only suspect me because I was at the gym during nighttime yesterday, correct? But you cannot accuse me of being the culprit with that insufficient proof. It is still possible for Maki and Kaito to have gone to the gym. They do not have alibis. They could have pretended to help Himiko, but secretly prepared the murder.
When you put it that way, it does seem possible.
We can't accuse Kirumi just based on our alibis.
Guys, maybe suspecting Kirumi is wrong.
Yeah, maybe we should think it over one more time.
I made a promise. As the ultimate detective, I made a promise to seek the truth. I made a promise to Kaede, so I'm not turning back now.
They're scared. They're scared that they have to accuse one of their friends of murder. So it's up to me. I have to do it. I'll use my detective work to prove it.
So you still believe I am the culprit? But there is no evidence to indicate that I am—
No, there is. I have proof that you're the
Piece of
culprit.
cloth.
I realized it when we determined that the ropeway was used to move the body. If it was indeed Kirumi who moved the body with a makeshift ropeway, then the final clue falls into place.
the final clue?
The damning evidence that proves Kirumi
The
is
thing
the
I
culprit.
literally tried last time and didn't work?
Shuichi, won't you please tell me why you are so desperate to pin me as the culprit? Don't you want to protect everyone?
I'm doing this because I want to protect everyone.
His hair.
Shuichi.
Then you're wrong. Your deduction is all wrong.
Your words aren't going to convince me now. Not when I know the truth.
What truth? All you care about is your own reasoning. You don't even listen to others. I can't bet everyone's lives on a deduction made by a self-righteous brat. You can't save anyone!
No more doubts. I'm confident I'm right. I'm glad he's confident. I'm going to present everyone with the evidence that proves she's guilty.
This is it!
Which didn't work before, but whatever.
The piece of black fabric in the pool. That's the final clue that proves you're guilty. It's been bothering me for a while. I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was just trash at first, but I couldn't dismiss it entirely. Now that the class trial has come this far, I know for certain. It's an important piece of the puzzle, because like the inner tube, it's evidence the culprit couldn't dispose of.
Huh? Why not?
Using the ropeway, you could slide the inner tube from the lab to the gym, but how would you control it? If it kept sliding and hit the window, the momentum would have thrown the body off. To prevent that from happening, the culprit needed some way to adjust the speed. For example, the culprit could have used their hands for friction.
Yeah, so what? You're still wrong. Your logic is flawed.
Kirumi, why are you becoming increasingly erratic?
There is such absolute beauty in trying to fight against the truth.
What truth? That black cloth is just trash. You can't prove I'm the culprit with just that.
No, it's not just trash. It's proof that you're the culprit.
Finding out how the black fabric fits into this is the key to everything. I'll make it clear now. It won't be a piece of black fabric. Armament.
You are incorrect.
Oops.
What is this truth? That is just your empty deduction. Ugh. You continue to confuse everyone. You are incorrect.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
Truth? That is just your empty deduction. You continue to confuse everyone. You are incorrect. Ah! In this class trial, everyone's life is at stake. Because of your self-righteous truth, everyone might die! In this class trial, everyone's life is at stake!
You've never explained how I was supposed to do them.
Because of your self-righteous truth, everyone might die! In this class trial, everyone's life is at stake! Because of your self-righteous truth, I completely understand your reasoning, but I will never accept it.
How do we do the
It seems you wish
holds?
to pin me as the culprit. You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. We only wish to protect everyone. Why must you interfere? I completely understand your reasoning, but I will never accept it.
Okay, I got it.
It seems you wish to pin me as the culprit. You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. We only wish to protect everyone. Why must you interfere?
She sounds like the dancer when
your
she says
reasoning,
that.
but I will never accept it. It seems you wish to pin me as the culprit. You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. Ah! What does that piece of trash prove?
Kirumi's gloves.
It ends here!
Oh! Okay.
The piece of fabric came from Kirumi's black glove.
Japan. Did you...
Kirumi's glove?
Japan.
If the culprit were slowing their descent by grabbing the rope with their hands, there would have been a lot of friction, easily enough to cause rope burn.
I'm sounding disappointed because, like, this is like a murder mystery, and they've gone, hey, could put a little strip game in. I didn't realise it was a strip game until the very end there. It wasn't obvious. It wasn't like a strip game with the first girl. Are all the murderers going to be girls? Anyway.
But our culprit was smart. They weren't burned because they weren't bare-handed.
Yeah, the culprit had gloves on. One got all torn up from the friction and
it fell into pool?
From what I remember, the only one who wears black gloves is Kirumi, right?
Yes.
The gloves on your hands now. I take it they're from your dorm?
The extra uniforms in our rooms are made of the same material we're wearing now.
She's wearing black gloves!
We can test my theory by comparing the fabric scrap with your glove.
Well, Kirumi,
She's wearing, yeah,
will you allow us to compare the black fabric we found in the pool with your
clearly
gloves?
black gloves on right there, but okay, fine. Whatever.
Huh? What's the matter? Why are you sweating so much?
Kirumi, what's wrong?
In the end, it's just like them. I'm just like them. I'm scared of revealing the truth. Because it means that someone has to be sacrificed. The coyote was scared too. Didn't let that stop her. She thought things through to the end. I faced the truth and I doubted it. And I kept thinking. And kept going. This is where it led me. And I won't turn away from it.
I will show you the truth.
Evidence made of metal that piranhas didn't eat is the handcuffs. What was used as a partition in the tank? The thin, long item the copper took from the gym. Oh crap, I'm gonna run out of time on it. Where was the... Okay, whatever. What was put on the victim's wrist? Handcuffs to begin. Okay. Use window and frame. What was taken from the pool? What was used to transport body on ropeway was the tire swing. Okay, this needs gloves. Between gloves. Okay, piranha tank lid was the partition. Handcuffs in the water. Was taken from the pool of it in a tube. What was used to transport the body on the roadway? Piranhas! There we go.
This is the truth of the case! The victim's body was found this morning during Himiko's underwater escape act.
Sorry, what's that?
When we saw the piranhas in the tank, we thought that Himiko's escape failed. Of course, it was all part of the act. Himiko's escape went perfectly. But when Angie opened the curtain in front of the tank, we saw Ryoma with piranhas swarming around him. Before any of us could react, the piranhas devoured Ryoma's body. And all that was left were his bones and the handcuffs he was wearing. That horrifying sight was the finishing touch on the culprit's own twisted magic trick. The culprit obfuscated the time and place of the murder, implicating Himiko in the process. In truth, the crime began last night around 8:55 p.m. While preparing for the show in the gym, the culprit had a chance to be alone. It was then that the culprit used the ladder to reach the piranha tank and removed the glass lid to put inside the tank. They used it as a partition to force the piranhas to one side of the tank.
Accidentally got that arm bitten off.
Next, the culprit took the rope from the stage wing in the gym and used the ladder once more, this time to climb up to the gym's window. Once there, they opened the window and tied one end of the rope to the window frame. The rope was then thrown out the window toward the pool.
Well, the gloves are an important thing.
These preparations were key for the culprit's elaborate plan. At nighttime, past midnight, the culprit asked Ryoma to meet at his lab. All the pieces were in place. The culprit was ready to murder. First, the culprit knocked Ryoma out, probably striking him from behind.
How do we know that?
Then, they put the handcuffs from the shower room on Ryoma's wrists. And shoved his head into the sink filled with water. From the water and the pain of drowning, Ryoma should have woken up and struggled. The culprit anticipated his resistance, which is why Ryoma was handcuffed. The struggle left scrapes on the cuffs and sink, but in the end, Ryoma succumbed. Ryoma was dead, but the culprit's plan had only just begun. They removed the cable from the tennis net and hung it from the window facing the pool.
If she just walked away, he would have just gotten away with it.
And then, at the pool, they connected the wire and the rope from the gym window. They returned to the lab after picking up one last thing. The rubber inner tube that was in the pool's tool shed. Once back in the lab, the culprit pulled the cable, bringing up the rope. They pulled until the rope was taut, then tied it to the lab's window frame. And thus, the gym and the lab windows were connected by a single rope. After making a hanger of sorts with another length of rope tied to the inner tube, they hung the inner tube on the rope connecting the windows. That's how the culprit created the ropeway that was used to move the body. An impressive premeditated murder, but the culprit made two crucial mistakes. The culprit got on the inner tube with Ryoma's body and slid toward the gym. With the height difference between the windows, they would have built up quite some speed. To avoid crashing through the window, the culprit used a brake. They used their own hand to grip the rope and slow down. That would have caused significant rope burn had the culprit not been wearing gloves.
I think it would have still been quite hot.
But due to the friction, part of a glove tore off and dropped in the pool. Regardless, the culprit reached the window and put Ryoma's body into the piranha tank. The glass pane not only kept the piranhas and the body separated, it also kept the piranhas so close together, they concealed the body. After that, all the culprit had to do was untie the rope and the inner tube. But that's when they made their second mistake. One end of the rope came loose, and the inner tube dropped into the pool.
Damn it!
Thus, the culprit was forced to leave two key pieces of evidence, the fabric and the inner tube. They couldn't retrieve the evidence because of the rule against swimming at nighttime. And that's the whole story. Am I wrong, Kirumi Tojo? The ultimate maid?
Right, and I know this is a terrible time to do it.
Kirumi, that's the conclusion I reached. Do you have any objections?
But I'm gonna let you go. I'm quite annoyed. I'm annoyed that I didn't get it. I'm annoyed that there didn't seem to be a way of figuring out it was her, apart from she was the only person who had black gloves. Like, how was I supposed to figure out some of this stuff before the trial began? Maybe I'm just whining, because I got it wrong again. But I'm gonna let you go anyway. We'll see the death on the next episode. I'm sorry, it's a really mean place to leave it, but I don't want to have, like, 70 minutes episodes, I'm afraid. So I've been John Proxy on John of the West. I've been having a Danganronpa. Also, I'm annoyed that I didn't get to finish. Like, I was one away! Ah! I've been a Danganronpa Killing Harmony Adventure. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Thank you for watching.